Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 12 of Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. Last time we got our Astral Sorcery set up here, all moved from the platform up there, and we also set up Draconium production. But today I'd like to get into extended crafting. So in order to do extended crafting, we're going to need a way of moving large quantities of energy, and so I'm going to use Flux Networks. And in order to get Flux Networks, we need this dimensional transceiver. And I think we can get everything here except for the charged draconium used for these capacitors. So we have the draconium, lots of it. We just need a way to charge it. So for that we're going to need the crafting core. This osmiridium we can already make in the metallurgic fabricator. The pedestals are quite easy, that's just a carpenter with some coal and black iron. The only thing we're unable to get right now is these crystalline components. And these require crystalline ingots, which have to be made in the elite crafting table. Eventually I'm going to get around to automating all of these things. Like for example the Flux Phytogrow will have to automatically produce that. I'll probably do it passively. Mana Dust, we can't quite get this yet, however I do have 12 from a quest reward, which is really nice. It will allow us to get at least this table in order to get the flux plugs, and then I'll automate it later on. So I'm going to gather these materials and we'll make this crafting table first. Right, I now have everything I'm going to need for this tier 3 crafting table. Let's see if we can get it. So, nice. Oh, looks like I had 2 extra as well. So with this, now we can do the crystalline ingots. So in order to make the crystalline ingots, we can put in a processing recipe that's linked to a chest, and then we can manually craft it for now. Since the craft is larger than 3x3, you can't do it in the AE system. So if we just put in the amounts here into AE2, it can figure out how much it needs for us. So we should be able to put this in the interface here and then order crystalline. So if we say like 12 ingots here, it should put all the things needed for 12 ingots in this chest. And then we can just take these and then shift click them. Oh yeah, right, it needs to be done in the elite. And there's our crystalline here. So we need 3 crystalline components. Have everything for that. 2 osmiridium and 4 pedestals. I have a crafter here, or a carpenter rather, with coal that I can put in the recipe in here. Alright, there's our crafting core. I think it went back into AE2. Right, so for the crafting core we're going to need to power this core here, and then we need pedestals. So I think the max recipe for the crafting core is 20 items. I think this is the biggest craft we're going to get in this pack. So I've just made 20 pedestals here, and for now we just need the one for the charged draconium. So hopefully the power cell can power this enough. So if we link a power cell to this, although it might be slow, I'm hoping it's enough to power this recipe to get us the 2 pieces of charged draconium we need. I mean, we are getting a fair bit, but we're limited by this 250,000 RF per tick on this power cell here. I guess there's only one way to find out if this works, and let's just try it. How much energy does this take again? Charged draconium takes 2 billion. Is that right? 10 million a tick. Alright, it's finished. We now have the 2 pieces of charged draconium we need for the capacitors. So now we can make this transceiver and get into Flux Networks. Alright, if I put in the recipe here for the capacitor, make 2 of them. We're going to also need an ender crystal, which is a soul vial of an enderman with a vibrant crystal. So I just went and nabbed one from the farm I made. And we use player levels, there we go. There's our ender crystal. And there we have it, the dimensional transceiver. Now just the sag mill to get our flux points. Oh nice, it even gave us extra because of the grinding balls. So now with these, you can easily duplicate them now that we have one, using this obsidian and flux. So I've made the flux, the 3 main items in this mod. We have the flux controller, the plug, and the point. So the flux point will insert energy into, extract energy from your flux network, and the plug will insert into the network. and the controller, you can control things like chunk loading. You can have wireless charging to your inventory. So if we make a new network here, we can color it, and then we can say power network 1, create. And then here we have things like you can enable a transfer limit if you want to limit the power to a certain block or item. And you can even see all the connections on the network, and it'll tell you the output of them. So I think what I'll do is hook up these to, first of all, our reactor. So I now have the flux plug here on the output of the reactor. I've disabled the limit. And then we can have another one here on all of our power consumers. So I'm going to put one on all of the void ore miners. And I'll switch out most of the power cells, but I don't think I'm going to switch them all out. And we can also put them on this crafting core as well, and it'll enable it to craft all the big crafts that take billions of energy. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out most of the power cells I have with flux points. Alright, all the power cells have been switched out now. Well, not all of them, most of the ones that require the most power. So I switched out the ore miners and a couple of the ones on the replicator for UU matter. The next thing I'd like to get is the Draconic Core. So I think we have actually everything here. So let's just put in the recipe here and see what is missing, if anything. Alright, can we get 10? Missing plutonium, dislocators, draconium, and genetics. Alright, I think I fixed all the recipes here. Let's try again for 10 Draconic Cores. Hopefully. Nice, nice. Alright, 10 Draconic Cores. Draconic Evolution unlocked. That's the second last gate. Guess let's pick the top one. Oh, and it gave us 2 more as well. And a dragon heart. Alright, so what's the first step here in Draconic for the quest book? Just a check mark thing. 50 levels, so that's Draconic Ingot, we already have that. Wyvern Core, Energy Core. So what does the Wyvern Core take here? Palladium, we got. Nether Stars we have, but we need to optimize Nether Stars. I think that might be something worth doing as well. I mean, we could grow them, but I haven't even started Mystical Agriculture yet. I'm not sure how long this would take. Although everything in here doesn't look too bad. I don't have the Insanium though. Might take some farming to get this. Crystal Teen, yeah, we just got those. So yeah, I might look into making the Nether Star seeds, and we'll set up a farm for all the seeds that we want. But yeah, what else here? So shulker shells. I have a shulker mob imprisonment tool that I can use on the mob farm. So I'll probably plug that in. But we'll need some way of stopping them teleporting, and I think Ender IO has a solution for that. We should be able to craft that now. What else here? Ludicrite. Ludicrite doesn't look too bad here. Ender Amethysts. I'm not sure where these come from. Let's see, do we have any Ender Amethyst? We don't. Ah, I found the recipe here. So it's Elementium and Terrestrial Artifacts, which is all the empowered stuff. And we can actually speed these up now that we have combination crafting, because I think we're slowed by the empowerer, because these only accept 80,000 RF a tick. So I could switch it all over to combination crafting and then use fusion for the higher tier. Like some of these things cost billions. Yeah, like the Self-Frame, like the Awakened Draconium. I can use this in the fusion and maybe just get rid of the empowerer. Maybe not. And switch it all over to make it faster so we can craft these terrestrial artifacts. Anyways, what else is required for this ludicrite here? Blaze mesh, that's easy. Plutonium mesh, or plutonium block, sorry, that's easy. Elementium, we have tons. Enderium, that's no problem. So really it's just these Ender Amethysts. And we can even grow them as well. What are they? A tier... Which seed are they? Are they a tier 6 seed? Yeah, looks like a tier 6. So maybe we will take a slight detour to mystical agriculture here to get this started. We will also have to upgrade the altar, which means making the iridescent altar. But we have already the infrastructure set up for that. I have celestial crystals. I can make lenses. Runes though, I'll need to farm up a bunch of runes, but we can do this still. It's only tier 3, we have a tier 3 altar. I still don't have automated blood, but for the small amount of runes we need, there's only 4 runes we need, and that's only 12 runes. And then this draft of Angelus, which requires the alchemy table. You know what, actually, before we start the magic, let's just do mystical agriculture, because we're going to need a bit of time for the essence to build up. Because we need quite a bit of this Insanium essence, Supremium. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of essence in order to get all the seeds to eventually get the tier 6 seeds. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time later. Well, let me just show you what I've decided to do here. So, we are currently on the front side here of the walls, next to our tree farm. And I think I'm going to set up a place for mystical agriculture here. Right now I'm trying to decide whether I want to go for cloche, the garden cloche from immersive engineering, or for phytogenic insulators, which means we can just craft one set of seeds and give it Flux Phyto Grow, and then it will give us Inferium. Right now we're just bottlenecked by the water production. I only have a infinite water source here, but eventually I'll switch it out with a sink, which is effectively infinite water. Basically just how fast you can jam it in there. And of course we can also augment this machine a bit further. Right now it's only at hardened tier to give us 1 augment slot. Although I can also upgrade it to resonant tier. I think I have the ability to do that now. If we look at resonant upgrade kit, yeah, this is no problem now. Lumium we can make, Enderium we can make, so if I was to go this route I would put them all in resonant tier. Obviously power isn't an issue anymore, we have the flux points, and yeah, I still need to decide exactly which seeds I want to grow. So if we look at the seeds, there's like, I don't know, over 70 here. Obviously we're not going to grow them all. There's no need to grow things like marble or limestone, basalt. There's really no need for these, right? It's just for blocks. And we're getting these from the resource miner anyway, so it's really just for things like Inferium. We can have a couple with Inferium, and then we can just use that to craft it up. The Enderman, we can use that for Ender Pearl, so we don't have to run the farm, since I don't have any way of generating experience. Things like slime as well, I don't really have a good way of getting slime, so this would be a really good source of just passive slime. And then Thaumium and Void Metal, they are not the easiest things to craft, so having them on seeds is going to probably be a good option. We can also grow eventually the super expensive stuff. So like this Ender Amethyst here I was talking about earlier on, we can use that for things like the Creative Essence, and also for the Ludicrate blocks. And I think actually you need to have this essence in order to craft the Creative Essence, and we need essence later on anyway for the creative vending. We need quite a lot of it here, so this also requires us to have Void Metal and a lot of Insanium. So it's going to be good to set this up now rather than later on. I don't think I'll be going with these cloches anymore. I think I will swap to Phytogenic Insulators, and then I'll have some sort of a drawer wall somewhere. Maybe I'll put it upstairs, I don't know, or maybe along this wall here, and then that'll all be connected to 82. So yeah, just give me some time and I'll try and figure this out, and I'll come back when I have something. Alright, let me show you what I've got here. I've taken some time to set up some basic proof of concept here. So this system on the right here I have is greatly reduced in size to the last time I played this pack. I managed to fit it all in a 6x3, and the last time I played it was probably double this. So this is to make Flux Phyto Grow to go in the insulators I have here. If we look at the recipe, it takes rich slag, wood, sawdust and niter. So the sawdust is made first in the sawmill, which is being supplied from wood. And I just have a level emitter here, making sure I just don't burn all the wood for nothing. So it imports wood when I have more than 100 or less than 100 sawdust, sorry. That goes into this drawer controller here, and the wood goes down here and gets voided eventually, and then the sawdust goes up the top. This machine here is just to make the... This is just a spare machine here. It's not part of the Phytogrow production. It's just to make these infinite water sources, and these are used to craft sinks. Yeah, but before I was doing it with water buckets and filling them manually, and I think this is just the fastest way since I have it upgraded anyway. I'm still to actually put a sink back here because this is just using the water source. Just so I could auto-craft them for these sinks because these need water as well. And I need them a few other places, so I just wanted to set this up just so I would have a way to have sinks. So the next part here is the rich slag, which I'm getting from this clock in the induction smelter. So if we look at the recipe here, it takes a clock and sand and you get 4 gold back. And the only resource cost in this is 1 piece of redstone. So I have sand being produced, or sorry, sand being extracted from the ME system into the induction smelter here. Then I have another export bus here, exporting redstone into this crafter with a level emitter set to 100,000. So this won't export any more than 100, or sorry, if I have less than 100,000 redstone in my system, then this will stop. And then the gold I just put in there on my own, like, we don't need any more than really a stack of gold, and because we get all 4 gold pieces back from each clock. And then the clocks go into here, and then the gold goes back in here, and it repeats. And then I think it's a 20% chance to get the rich, yeah, 20% chance, and all the rich slag goes above into this drawer. And by the way, there's a storage bus on this drawer controller here, which is connected to all these. So the AE system can see all this as well, and I can use that to extract over here, which I'll show you in a sec. Anyways, the last step is to make Phytogrow, a rich Phytogrow, which is taking all the systems from the AE system. So I have sawdust, rich slag and niter being provided here. I'll hide this actually as well. And that's going into the crafter, producing the rich Phytogrow, and that is being exported to this energetic infuser, which is charging it. And that gives us the Flux Phytogrow, which is the max, it's like a souped up bone meal basically. It gives you extra or faster production in these insulators. And so there's a, like I said, there's a storage bus on this, and then over here we have just a drawer with the downgrade, so it only holds 1 stack, but this has acceleration cards and things like that, and then this gets round robin mode into all of these. And yeah, the output of the essence goes into this drawer here, and then I have another storage bus set just connected with some trim, and I'm yet to populate these with seeds. But yeah, this is basically how it's going to extend, and I can extend it further this way as well. I haven't decided. Right now I'm just growing some Ethereum essence and water seeds, because that's the only 2 I've crafted so far. So in order to get any of the tier 6 seeds, which is the whole reason we started this, we're going to need the iridescent altar, of course, and then we also need a lot of supremium essence, which is basically just crafted from each of the steps. So we have supremium, superium, intermedium, prudentium, and then inferium, which I am growing there. However, that requires the infusion crystal, and this takes some botania to get going. I do have some of these 25 use, but they're almost useless, to be honest. Yeah, 25 uses doesn't get you very far. So I will end up making the master infusion. That's just going to take some mana, which may take some time. I might do this tomorrow actually and get this set up so that I can have the master infusion. But yeah, for now I'm probably going to decide what other seeds I want. I'll probably set up a redstone one so that we can have this auto supplied with redstone and just run it off itself basically. And another thing is I'm not sure if this is going to be self-sufficient or self-sustaining because of the redstone cost. Right, if we think about the inputs for this, it's basically redstone and niter, which I don't have produced yet for this recipe here. So right now I'm getting niter from Blaze or Blitz maybe, that I have farmed. I don't have that running yet, I'm still using the Enderman from the mob duplicator. But we can actually grow niter, so I might, in fact I will set up one of those seeds. Saltpeter seed, we can use this. And just, it's 3 essence for 5 niter, which is pretty decent. Yeah, this is a tier 3, so we need some intermedium and a crafting seed. All of this you see here is just a backlog that I had from farming. I think I had about 8,000 to start with. I don't know how much I'm down to now. 7,000, so yeah, we've only used 1,000. But I might have to put some upgrades in, probably the induction smelter and also the infuser here. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on this a little bit, see about putting the upgrades in, and I'll come back when I have something more. Alright, I took a bit more time here, I added some more seeds. So let me show you what I've got here. I have the water and essence like I had before, the saltpeter, the dye, redstone, obsidian essence, end essence, and nether essence. Obviously I'm going to add more in the future, but for the 2 redstone and saltpeter, I added it to this system like I said, so I have redstone here, and that's outputting in to make these clocks. And the saltpeter is going to make niter in order to make the phyto grow. So this should now be self-sustaining. I don't know if the redstone will be fast enough, but it is still supplemented by the export bus that I have down there. So let me just show you how easy it is to expand this system now. So if, let's say we want sulfur, we can now take the sulfur seeds. I can just say I want this, and then put in, create a tier 2 seed, order that, put that here, grab the seed, add it to the system, and then tell it to export down. Once it has 1, we can set the drawer, and that's it. Easy as that. We're now getting sulfur. We should be able to see it in our ME system, sulfur essence. So now if we want to craft sulfur, all we have to do is this, and we have sulfur. And we can do that for any seed. Obviously the higher tier seeds are a little bit more involved, like these nether and essence, or sorry, these nether and end seeds required the starlight crafting altar, but it's really not really that much. It's just the extra tier of seed. So yeah, I'm going to keep adding to this as needed, and I'll finish off probably the building on this as well. But I think we're going to call it here. So next time I think we'll get into more Botania and try and develop our mana generation, and also automate rune production as well. So yeah, that'll be for next time. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.